Hi everyone, you're welcome to MyProfessorNote. This is Bhupesh Sharma, and your result has been released. Some of you got the success, some of you got the failure, and both of these things are like the two sides of the coin. I know it feels really bad when you have done such a hard work. You're waking up early in the morning, you have a strategy, you have that discipline, you have that consistency, with, without patience. Sometimes we cannot move ahead. You have to keep this patience. You have to trust the process and you just have to be dedicated to that. I know it hurts, like you have given your years and years to this, and when the result come and you're just missing it just by a few points, I can feel that, right? We all have been through failures. We all have been through that. But all I can tell you, my friend, just keep the head up. Just keep your head up. If you can take failures and success both in a same way. You remember that one line from Rudyard Kipling, if I know these lines looks good on the paper only, but when you have to go through them in reality, that hurts you really, really bad. All right, but we have to move ahead. And in this video, I know I uploaded this one video on formalism. I don't know how many of you watched that and how many of you found that helpful. But here I'm going to do the revision of that through the MCQs, and we will also cover the other things. For example, this aura and actant were not there, right? And so defamiliarization and a foregrounding, this is what we talked there, and this is one of the questions from this formalist criticism, so that's the reason that I have taken it here, right? Okay, so let's talk about it. Which two terms among the following are associated with the formalist criticism? So you know that this is the defamiliarization and the foregrounding. Actant is like by the Walter Benjamin. It is discussed here. Let's talk about the defamiliarization. So you know that it was a 1917 published essay, Art as Technique. This is from where he has taken this, right? This is where this term is coined by the Victor Shklovsky, right? Victor Shklovsky, right? As a very one of the most prominent figure of the formalist criticism, right? And another one is the foregrounding. So foregrounding is to keep that technical part of the work on the front and taking the social references to the backgrounding, because a formalist main focus is on the form of the work, not on the subject matter, that what that writer want to say, what he wants to convey. That is not the main focus here, right? What the aura, what actant, and what narrative is, let's discuss about them here too, because they are important terms and will come into your examination. So aura is the so aura, you know, like so when someone cross you, any person or any place, you feel the aura, this vibe, you know, and that aura makes that person good or bad, no matter how great that thing is. So he talks here the art. He said that the art is only that thing is art which has that aura, that internal quality. You feel that, you know, sometimes we come to a person and we feel so relaxed, we feel like that we want to convey our thought, we want to convey our emotion, we want to have a conversation with this person, and that is the aura you feeling, my friend, right? And this was discussed in the art, in the work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction by Walter Benjamin. It was his 1936 essay. Make sure you remember all of these things, because I'm going to take a quiz on Telegram soon on this, right? So another option which we had in this question is the actant. So actant is the Algerdus Julian Grimm's. He is the one who propounded this concept in his actential model in 1966. Right? You just have to remember these details. This is it. Narrative. We know that if I am the narrator, I am the speaker, and whatever I have written in the book, that is about you. So you are the narrative, right? This is what narrative is. So foregrounding, we already discussed that making the linguistic utterance stand out, the technical part of the work, that their main focus is on the language, on the style, on the form. When they keep this part on the front, that is called the foregrounding. Their main focus is on the literariness. Literariness. Literariness is something which makes the a work of literature, because that has those devices, right? Those patterns. So this is what your literariness is. This is what these formal critiques focus at. Another option we have here, according to dash, certain verbs actually perform an act when they are uttered. Even though this question is from the linguistics, but as formalists also focus on the linguistics, so that is the reason I took this question here, because one of the option we have here from the formalist, right? So prop, he has written this morphology of the folk tales, 1928, right? You have to remember these names. These names are very, very important, my friend. Okay, so speech act theorists such as Austin and Searle, they are the one who talk about this. They said that there are three acts: locutionary, illocutionary, and pre-locutionary, right? Locutionary is something, is an act when you say something, but you just say it for the sake of saying, right? I'm not feeling good. You're just saying that, right? You do not mean by saying this, like you do not want someone else to act on it. This is what the locutionary. Then come the illocutionary. Illocutionary, like you say that I'm not feeling good, right? If you are upset with someone, maybe it may be your friend or your parents, like you say I'm not feeling good, so you want them to go away, or you want them to make you feel good. This is what your intent here in saying this, so it becomes illocutionary, right? And pre-locutionary means when you when the person act when the person act when they are act on making you feel good, or they stand up or move away, that is called the pre-locutionary. And these are the things that they have discussed in their work here: how to do things with words, and right, this is the work, how to do things with words. This is the work written by both of these, Austin and the J.R. Searle, right? So make sure you remember this. We have here Sapir and Warp. Again, they are the linguistics, right? So Edward Sapir is known like a father of American linguistics, right? He's known as the father of American linguistics, anthropology. So Sapir was responsible for documenting and recording cultures and languages of many Native American tribes disappearing at an alarming rates. तो बहुत सी भाषाएं हैं वहाँ पे, बहुत सी लैंग्वेजेस हैं जो अब डिसअपियर हो रही हैं, जैसे कि इंडिया में बहुत से डायलेक्ट हैं, इवन दो हिंदी भी जो है, आई थिंक कई बार मुझे लगता है कि कहीं लोग हिंदी बोलना बंद ही ना कर दे, पर हिंदी तो रहेगी ही रहेगी, दिस इज वन थिंग इज फॉर श्योर, बट देयर आर मेनी डायलेक्ट्स, हम बोलते हैं कि हर 1 किलोमीटर बाद एक डायलेक्ट बदलता है इंडिया में, एक भाषा बदलती है इंडिया में. दैट थिंग इज रियली ऑन द एज ऑफ द extinction, I think, and there are surveys on this. Okay, so we also talked about here the Edward Sapir and the Benjamin Leawoff. They developed the hypothesis that languages influences thought rather than the reverse. The strong form of the Sapir claim that people in a different culture. Yeah, so they say that if you have a different language, you think differently, right? Your language also have impact on your thinking. So this is what the hypothesis of the Edward Sapir and his pupil Benjamin Leawoff said. Make sure they're going to be the quiz, that who said that different language create a different pattern of thinking, right? They said here in this hypothesis that the people from different cultures think differently because of difference in their languages. We think in a different way because of the language difference. Who said this? Sapir and Wolff in their hypothesis. Okay, let's move further. Who among the following is not associated with Russian formalism? It will be, I think, very easy to pick up, right? So Russian formalism, we know that it started in the Moscow and the Petersburg. In Moscow, Linguistic Circle in the 1915, and Petersburg in the 1916. Here we have the Viktor Shklovsky in the Petersburg group, Boris Eichenbaum, and Roman Jacobson was the founder of the Moscow in 1915. So Georges Paulet is the one who was not the part of it. Okay. I've discussed there something like this is the detail analysis, so that is the reason. Eichenbaum is the person. He has also written this like overview about their approach, and I want you to search that and write that down in the comment section below. That Eichenbaum have also written the overview about the approaches that these formalists were advocating, and it was published in the 1926, and I want you to search it and write it down in the comment section below. So he mainly focused on the structure, rhythms, and style, because you know that this is what the approach of the formalist critiques are. So How Gogol's Overcoat was made in 1919. It was published, and it is a very important work. It was written by the Nikolai. I forgot the last name. 1919 it was published, right? So here he focused on the language only. Here he did not focus on the socio-cultural thing, right? What was the subject matter, what are the references? They just focus on the structure and the form. This is what these formal critiques do. These are the very important informations, right, that you are just about to get in the paid video sometime. But I try my level best to bring all this to you on this free platform of the YouTube. And you can also get access to my notes if you want. So I have given my contacts below in the description box, so you can let me know there. Okay, so another work, The Melody of Russian Lyric Verses, 1922, it was published. George Paulet, right? So he was the member of the Geneva School, and your one most important linguistics, Ferdinand de Saussure, he was also a part of this Geneva School. It was a linguistic school, right? And Ferdinand de Saussure was also a part of this school. Make sure you remember that. Another question we have here, so we have to make a match. Formalism, I think it will be easy for us, this one. Formalism we know as Viktor Shklovsky here, so A is matching here. Then we have the new critiques. In new critiques, we have the John Crow Ransom. He is the one who wrote this work in the 1941 New Criticism. You remember? We discussed this in the video which I made. I know it has this funny title that New Criticism ka concept clear, even though there are a lot of videos. So, but okay, now it's there. I don't want to remove it. It's a good video. You must watch it. So another one, we have this psychological theory of the value of literature. So this psychological theory of the value of literature is discussed in the work of the I.A. Richard. Right, we will discuss that work here. We will look that when and where this was published. Okay, another one, we have the literary art as archetypical images. So archetypical images, you know that they have the universal approach. For example, an image of like the Jesus, right, it makes you feel in the same way that what it will make feel to the another person, no matter wheresoever that person is living, right? For example, the death, birth, right? These things have universal approach to every single person. They makes feel in a similar way, right? And now the archetypical images that he is talking here, he said that the earliest human, right, our great 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 grandfather, right? So they have this brain. They saw something, and that thing got stored in their brain, right? When they will give birth to their child, right, that child will inherit that brain. Will he will inherit that everything. So his brain will also have that memory which was stored in the mind of his father, and in a similar way that picture is inherited by the later generations. This is what is called the archetypical image. So it is still there in our mind. It is called as a collective unconsciousness. Unconsciousness. I know I didn't write it in a good way. Right? Unconsciousness. And this is the topic which he discussed in the 1916 essay, The Structure of the Unconscious. Right? This is the topic which he has discussed here. And this is what your archetypical image is. The image which got stored in the brain of our earliest humans. And now that image is inherited by us too. And whenever we see something, that image comes front of our eyes and we can see it, and sometimes we feel like that this thing has already been happened before. It seems like a deja vu sometime, right? So this is what your collective unconsciousness is, and Carl Jung is one of the most important figure of your archetypical criticism and or archetypical theory. I will make a separate video so we can understand this each and every single aspect and dimension of this theory. All right, so that will be very helpful for all of you. Okay, so let's talk about this Richard's theory about the psychological uh, theory of value. So he has uh, talked about this. He has talked about this in his seventh chapter of the Principles of Literary Criticism, right? One of the most important work of your new criticism. And this is where he talked about this general psychological theory of value. I'll be also sharing this PDF with you on the Telegram. So make sure you just go through it. But I just want to explain some of the things that you are supposed to understand. And he describes the human mind a system of impulses. There are conflicting instincts and desires and wants, or appetencies, as Richards calls them, in the human mind. Okay, so the last question we have here is the informalist school of criticism. Art is, I think it will be very easy to pick. Not entertainment for sure, not preaching for sure, not the matter, because they ignored the matter and they only focus on style. They foregrounded that. This is what they did. They foregrounded that. They talked about the literariness. They talked about the literariness, right? Next thing. So, and to convey them that what these things are, how it works, and why they are doing it to bring that fresh perspective. Defamiliarization, right? Rization. Okay, so this is it. Now we have discussed all the questions in a good detailed manner. I will also share this PDF with you on the Telegram channel, so make sure you take quizzes there. Very soon I will upload a quiz about that, so you can follow our channel there. You can also follow us on the Instagram. They will just keep uploading reels on important concepts and important topics. And so you can contact me on my number. You can WhatsApp, right? And okay, I don't think that it will be right too. Okay, when I have, since I have already written this there, why I'm like hiding it. You can just contact me here and I will share all the details with you so you can get access to the notes. All right, still in time, just keep pushing your limits. Success, failures, both the part of this life, my dear, right? You have to face them no matter what happens. Build that warrior mindset. You are a warrior, right? You are a warrior and you will make it, my friend. Every single day you wake up, you gotta do some push-up. You're going to have right diet. If you do not have, you learn the skill. You learn the skill, right? And this is how we do it. Till then time, my professor note signing off.